February 16th, 2003. A quiet weekend in Antwerp, Belgium. Beneath the surface, 5 men driven by greed and expertise pulled off what would be called the heist of the century, one of the most meticulously planned robberies in world history. In less than 2 hours, they would vanish with over $100 million in diamonds, gold, and jewelry. This is the story of a crime that shocked the world, a story that targeted the most impenetrable vault on Earth. This is the story of the Antwerp diamond heist, the real jewel of criminal masterminds. The Fortress. In the early 2000s, there was a legendary building in Antwerp, Belgium. A building famous not for architectural beauty, but because this particular fortress was playing the role of the world's most secure diamond vault, holding hundreds of millions of dollars in precious stones, gold, and other valuables, the beating heart of the global diamond trade. At the time, the vault was considered to be one of the most secure in the entire world, an impenetrable fortress. No one dared to challenge it. The safe room sat 2 floors underground, protected by 10 layers of security, a lock with 100 million possible combinations, infrared heat detectors, a seismic sensor, a magnetic field that would trigger alarms if broken, video surveillance monitoring every angle, and armed guards patrolling around the clock. However, someone wasn't quite convinced. The Mastermind. Leonardo Notarbartolo, a ruggedly handsome man from Palermo, Sicily. Born in 1952, Notarbartolo had been addicted to stealing since childhood. In 1958, when he was only 6 years old, his mother sent him out to buy milk, and he returned home with about $8 in his hand. Even though his mother spanked him, he had found something he loved. As a teenager, he started stealing different cars, to the point where he learned how to open all kinds of locks. In his 20s, he spent his time observing and studying the behavior of jewelry sellers. He examined them all over Italy to understand their habits and routines. By the time he was 30, he had his own robbery team, with each member considered an expert and master in their own field. Notarbartolo's expertise in theft was remarkable. He would easily enter offices or homes to inspect people's valuable goods. He would buy a few precious stones, and then a week or a month later, he would steal the entire target property in the middle of the night. Antwerp was a good place for Leonardo's heists. In 2000, Notarbartolo rented a small office in the Diamond Center, in one of the biggest buildings in that area. He introduced himself as an independent importer of diamonds and jewels from Turin, Italy, and constantly arranged meetings with representatives from other countries. When Notarbartolo first entered the Diamond Center, he didn't have a serious plan to break into its main vault. The fateful day. One day, Leonardo was drinking an espresso at a cafe on the main street of the Diamond Center. Although the street seemed too narrow and small, Leo could easily look from the Diamond Trading Center to the outside world. During business hours, the people coming and going in that place were Indian traders or Africans in their bright blue clothes, and Armenians negotiating with each other. But after he finished his espresso, he saw a Jewish dealer sit opposite him and start a conversation. The first sentence the dealer said was, "Actually, I want to talk to you about something unusual. Maybe we can take a walk?" Leo accompanied him, and after they left the cafe, the dealer's tone changed, especially when he uttered these words, "I want to hire you for a robbery." The initial agreement was simple. For an upfront payment of 100,000 euros, Leo only had to answer one question. Could the vault of the Antwerp Diamond Center be robbed? Leo was almost sure the answer was no. He was a tenant in a building near the Diamond Center, and although he had a safe deposit box there and visited regularly, given the security and protection systems, he pretty much knew the Jewish dealer was asking him for the impossible. Antwerp was known as the safest place to store valuables. However, 100,000 euros was not a small amount just to answer a simple question, so he agreed to photograph the place and give him a final answer. The scouting mission. After Leonardo agreed to go to the Diamond Center to answer the €100,000 question and photograph the place, he started walking around the Antwerp area with a camera pen in his pocket. The pen had looked like a simple pen at first glance, but it contained a small digital camera capable of storing 100 very high-resolution images. Even though photography was forbidden in that area, no one noticed Leo's behavior pattern. He carefully observed all the cameras and guards. Everything was such that every inch of the street and sky was under surveillance. As he walked by, Leo took his desired photos of the entire building. He moved towards the Diamond Center and saw the security forces stationed at the entrance. Those who entered had to first get past the guards and, after answering their questions, were allowed to enter. Leo showed his ID card and entered. Once inside the Diamond Center, the imaging operation began. With a general inspection, he noticed that almost all the walls and ceiling were made of steel. For the vault, there was a combination wheel that required 4 numbers to be dialed. There were 100 million possible combinations for the vault door. The main vault door could withstand 12 hours of drilling, although with the first vibrations felt from contact with tools or a drill, the sensors would send a signal to the alarm department. Besides all this, there was a magnetic field. If the door was opened, the field connection would be broken and the alarm would sound. And finally, the vault lock needed a key to be opened. After Leonardo carefully examined all sections, he went outside. It seemed this project was one of the most difficult targets he had ever seen in his life. The team assembles. It took 5 months for the Jewish dealer to contact Leo again after receiving his negative answer. The meeting place was an abandoned warehouse. A warehouse where the Diamond Center environment and its vault had been perfectly replicated, and where people were introduced to Leo as his robbery team. Leonardo was still amazed because he was in a place exactly like the Diamond Center. Throughout those 5 months, the dealer had started rebuilding that place based on the photos Leo had taken. Leo was surprised by the team that man gathers. The genius, a specialist in alarm systems, someone who could disable any type of alarm. The monster, a tall, muscular man who performed flawlessly in everything he did. He was an expert in locks, electrical systems, mechanics, and also a professional driver with great physical strength. Since everyone was afraid of him, Monster was a good name for him. The King of Keys, a quiet and calm old man. He looked more like a grandfather, but the Jewish dealer believed he was one of the best key forgers in the world. The King of Keys told Leo, "You just need to get me a clear video of the vault key. I will easily do the rest." The day before the heist, February 14th, Leo entered the warehouse alone, with a can of hairspray in his pocket. Leo's idea was to use the spray to temporarily disable the heat sensor. Since Leo's comings and goings to the Diamond Center were very normal for the guards, they did not notice his behavior. He applied a clear, sticky layer onto the thermal motion combination sensor with the spray. The night of the heist. Saturday night, the attention and focus of the entire city was on the Venus-Williams match, the semi-final, an event that caused all of Antwerp to forget about the world of diamonds. The Diamond Center area seemed very quiet and empty of any traffic. The genius entered from the back of the Diamond Building, one of the few areas not monitored by cameras. The genius used a ladder he had previously placed there to get onto the terrace. The infrared detector activated based on heat. However, the genius moved behind a large polyester shield, so his body heat did not reach the sensor. The genius disabled the alarm on one of the balcony windows, so the team members could enter one after another. The building was still calm, and no alarm had sounded. The security cameras were covered with black plastic. The genius took a stiff aluminum plate out of his bag and inserted it into the magnetic field to prevent it from being broken. In the next stage, the King of Keys came in to handle the vault key. He had already made a duplicate based on the original key. In the videos Leo had recorded, the guard would visit a room just before opening the door. When the robbery team checked the room, they found a security recess with the original key hanging inside. So, the King of Keys decided to use the original key to open the vault. At this moment, the genius stepped in to enter the correct number combinations. The monster turned off all the lights because when the vault door opened, a light detector in the room would activate. In the darkness, the King of Keys turned the key and gently opened the vault door. The entire time, Leo was sitting in a car outside the location, his attention completely focused on the diamond center. His main worry was that as the room's temperature and his teammates' body heat rose, the women's hairspray could lose its effectiveness, and the sensors would activate. By 5:30 a.m., about 109 safe deposit boxes had been opened, and time was passing quickly. It took about an hour for the team members to carry the bags up the stairs and get into the car where Leo was. The twist. The team entered their hideout and started opening the bags and suitcases one after another. But what shocked everyone was that there were no diamonds in any of the bags. What Leo realized was that the dealer had not been working alone. He and a group of dealers had decided to remove their own diamonds before the robbery and claim their diamonds were stolen so they could also collect the insurance money. The day after the incident. It was 6 p.m. on Sunday when we're supposed to return to Turin. Garbage bags full of evidence were in the back of the car that Leo were in. By this time, almost the entire city knew about the robbery. They couldn't carry the trash with them all the way to Brussels, so they decided to dump it in a wasteland near the highway. Unknowingly, this small act would lead to the entire team being exposed. The documents and evidence collected by the police revealed Leo's name and several others. Leo planned to return to his apartment in Belgium to divert the police's attention away from himself. Unaware that the police were investigating, Leo entered his apartment, but after the building guard called the police, Leo was finally arrested and sentenced to 10 years in prison.